Welcome to Small Batch Miniatures Games. My name is Raymond. This is my first battle report for YouTube, and I'm going to be playing En Garde, which is a swashbuckling skirmish war game by Craig Woodfield. It's published by Osprey Games. This is excellent for anything from Renaissance through Golden Age of Piracy. You could push this further to 19th century if you wanted to, as long as everybody's mainly using swords and black powder. That's what this rule set's really made to describe. I'm not going to be doing a historical scenario here. This is going to be more like the Hollywood version of historical fiction. I'm going to have fun today with this. En Garde is a simple game as far as movement and things are concerned, but the real meat of it is going to be when you get into melee dueling, which is what it's really made for. There's some interesting decision making. There's bluffing. Now today I'm going to be playing solo. I've created my first team here, the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls are a trio of traders and expert fighters. We've got Lady Strawn, who's an excellent master swordswoman. We've got La Contessa, who's armed with a rapier and a black powder pistol. And then Yasmin. Yasmin is our sharpshooter. She's got 2 pistols, but she doesn't have a melee weapon, so she's got to be pretty careful what kind of combat she gets into. For this mission, the girls have hired 2 sailors, and these sailors are going to be mainly manning the ship here during the mission. This is a ship that they've chartered to this island. Facing off against the girls are the devious Spanish, and they're led, of course, by Senor Aguirre, quite a swordsman himself. He's brought some militiamen, he's brought some more highly trained soldiers, and he is attempting to capture the Spice Girls and try them for their so-called crimes against the Spanish state. So the story so far is that the Spice Girls have traveled to this island, they've hired a ship, they've hired some sailors to take them there, and they've traveled to an estate where they're supposed to meet with a new business contact. However, it was all a trap, and they have been ambushed by the Spanish, led by, of course, the nefarious Captain Aguirre. So the Spice Girls' mission will be to escape the island. They've got to get back to their ship and get away before the Spanish can try and stop them. And if you like learning about new games, whether you're a new war gamer or this is your 100th, like and subscribe. The girls have just been ambushed, and they need to make their way back here to their ship alive. First thing we're going to do is roll off for initiative. In this game, the red dice is always going to be for the Spanish, and the black dice is always going to be for the Spice Girls. So this is going to be initiative. Looks like the girls have the jump on them, which is great for them. And they're going to get to do the first movement here. As part of the movement phase, they can also shoot, which I think they're going to want to here. Yasmin is definitely their best shooter, and so she is going to go ahead and take a shot here at the soldier right in front of her. We're going to roll 2d6 for her shot. That's actually going to be a grievous wound on our soldier here, so that was a good shot. Now it's going to be the turn of the Spanish, the devious Spanish here. So Spanish only have 1 gun over here that we'll do later, so we'll take care of them later. These guys do not have any pistols or muskets or anything like that. So they're going to want to get up and get into the fight here. So this militiaman will move up and get into combat with Yasmin. Okay, now it goes back to the Spice Girls. We've also got Contessa over there, who is equipped with a pistol. She could try and finish this soldier off. So let's see what she can do. Oh my goodness, that is definitely going to do it. So this soldier is no more. All right, so it's going to go back to the Spanish here. We will go ahead and move up this militiaman over here. This sailor here with the rifle is going to move up to the back of the ship so that he's got line of sight under the the ship of Spaniards, the little boat of Spaniards over there. So that's it for the movement for the Spice Girls. I'm going to move up the rest of the Spanish here. So militiamen moving up. And then over here, I should have moved the boat at the beginning of the turn, but I'll go ahead and do it now. The boat at the beginning of each turn, these are just my rules, is going to move up 6. This guy does have a musket here. So it's a matchlock musket, and he is going to take a shot at this pirate up here. So let's go ahead. This is going to be a matchlock musket firing into this sailor. So the hit score is 0, so it doesn't hit at all. That's going to be the end of the movement phase of turn 1 here. And so now we're going to go into the combat phase. This is when all the combats are resolved. We've got 2 of them over here as these militiamen came to ambush our heroes. Not that I'm biased or anything. So let's get started with the first fight here. So we get to choose whether the character is going to have more options to do more offensive attacks or defensive attacks here. So when you're playing 2-player, you would actually do this in secret. Instead, we're going to kind of randomize it by using the bag here so that the enemies will have random offensive or defensive attacks. So let's see. Yasmin herself is not much of a fighter. In fact, she doesn't even have a melee weapon here. So I think she's going to want to do a little bit of an attack, but I think she's going to want to also have a defense in there. And I guess since the militiaman will only be able to attack once, he's just rank 1. She just needs 1 defense there. And so let's see what our militiaman's going to have. Okay, our militiaman is going to play it defensively here. Yasmin herself is going to spend 1 to make an attack and spend another 1 to roll 3d6 and drop the lowest. And the defender is going to go ahead and spend 1 to roll 2d6 instead of 1d6 here. And so, whoop. Let's roll this out. So Yasmin gets to drop the lowest here. And then what we're left with is a tie. So there's not going to be any kind of wounding going on here. So for the second fight here, we've got Lady Strawn versus the second militiaman. Lady Strawn's an excellent fighter. She's going to have 4 CP here. She's probably going to get initiative, so I'm going to get 3 offensive for her and 1 defensive. And it looks like our militiaman is going to play it safe and try and defend himself and try and survive this fight. Lady Strawn is a weapon master here. I think she's going to go ahead and spend 1 to attack, spend another to do a mighty blow. And so she gets to roll 3d6, drop the lowest. And our militiaman is going to defend here. Lady Strawn's a weapon master. She gets to roll 1, 1, or 2. Up into a 1. So she can drop the lowest here. The militiaman gets to add 1 to this, so he's at 9. And Lady Strawn gets to add 5 to this. So she's at 11. So that will be a light wound to our militiaman. Now it's going to go back to the militiaman. He's all out of CP here. So Lady Strawn will make a final attack here. So it's going to be another light wound. That's going to make this into... That's going to change this from a light wound into a grievous wound. And that's the end of turn 1. All right, we're rolling for initiative for turn 2. This time the Spanish are going to take it. So they are going to get a chance to move first here. They are going to go ahead and move Senor Aguirre over here. He's going to be able to go 9 inches, so he is getting a lot closer to Spice Girls over here. So Spanish will move up the other militiaman over here back to the Spice Girls. We'll have this sailor here, and he's gonna return fire at this musketeer. And let's go ahead and roll for this shot from the sailor to the musketeer down here. All right, that's going to be a 5. That's not going to do it. This guy's going to reload, who's standing in the ship here, in the little boat. The Spanish musketeer is going to reload. And that will be it for movement. So we're going to go back into combat over here. The Spanish have the initiative, and they're going to choose this fight right here. So it's going to be this militiaman into Yasmin, who's once again unarmed. Yasmin is rank 3, so she's going to get 3 tokens here. I think she's going to take 2 reds and a green there. And our militiaman is going to attack this time. So here's the initiative roll for the militiaman versus Yasmin. And the militiaman is going to go second. Yasmin is going to go first here. And so she is going to spend 1 to attack and 1 to roll 3d6. And our Spaniard is only going to have 1d6 available to throw here. Oh my goodness, that was a really terrible roll by both parties, especially Yasmin. And so she's not going to be able to do anything there. So it's going to go back to the militiaman. He's going to spend his 1 to attack. Yasmin is going to spend a defense dice to roll 2d6. So it's going to be 2d6 versus 2d6 here. The militiaman did not beat her score, her roll, and so they're going to continue in this combat for right now. Initiative is going to go over to the Spice Girls, and so they're going to pick Lady Strawn to go next. Lady Strawn is level 5, rank 5, and so she's going to get, she's rank 4, sorry. So she's going to get 3 offensive and 1 defensive. The militiaman is going to get a defensive. So I guess the plan here is these guys are just going to try and keep the girls from getting away from Senor Aguirre, who is very dangerous and coming to close the gap here. So Lady Strawn is going to do an attack, and it's going to be a mighty blow here. Try and finish this guy off. Very nice. Okay, I do get to reroll this for... Oh, wow. So that was some hot rolling by both of them. Unfortunately, the Spaniard gets to add 1 to this, so he's going to be at a 12, and Lady Strawn's going to be at a 17. So this is all over for this militiaman. Okay, top of turn 3 here. We have to roll for initiative to see which side's going to go first, and that is going to be a tie. So let's re-roll that. So Spice Girls get to go first here. So I don't forget again, the boat does get to move 6 inches before anything else happens. And so next turn, they will be able to board. Spice Girls are going to get to go first here. They've got to start to worry about Senor Aguirre here, who is an excellent fighter. He will be able to match Lady Strawn in combat. And since the Spice Girls' goal is to escape here, they've got to be careful. Lady Strawn is going to come out and engage with Senor Aguirre. And that should be a very interesting fight. Goes over to the Spanish, and they don't have a whole lot of choice other than to come and pile into this fight as well. Back to the Spice Girls. Contessa is going to go ahead and shoot this guy who is not engaged right now. He may not have line of sight there. Yeah, I think that would be too risky. She might hit Lady Strawn. So she's going to come up and hop over this wall and join this fight. So Contessa and this militiaman are going to be fighting in the combat round. Back to the Spanish. This militiaman, I'm going to say he can get over here on this side of Lady Strawn. So this is going to be a 2-on-1 here. We'll see if Lady Strawn can handle it. This guy's going to reload his weapon. Our musketeer does not appear to have line of sight on anybody. And so we're going to go ahead and pass with the rest of the Spaniards. And our last sailor is going to wait for them to come aboard so that he can try and defend the ship. Now to the combat phase. The Spice Girls had the initiative here. Where do they want to go first? I think it would be wise for Lady Strawn to attack Senor Aguirre there, since he's definitely the most dangerous. So let's get the fight set up. Lady Strawn is rank 4, and Aguirre is rank 4. So Lady Strawn is going to go half and half here. This is Aguirre's tokens. Okay, half and half as well. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and do some initiative here. This is going to be initiative 3 versus initiative 2. And so, by a long shot, Lady Strawn gets the advantage here and gets to attack first. Lady Strawn's going to do a feint to start off. A weapon master can do this. So she's going to spend 1 to attack. She's going to do a feint. Aguirre is going to do a parry. They will start rolling here. So it's going to be 2 versus 2 here. And we've got a fight skill of 5 from Lady Strawn, a fight skill of 5 from Aguirre. So just by 1 point, Lady Strawn has won this one. Since she was doing a feint, she doesn't cause any damage, but she gets an attack counter back. By doing the feint, she made Aguirre use one of his defense counters. Now it's going to go over to Aguirre. Aguirre is going to spend 1 to attack and 1 to do a mighty blow. Lady Strawn is going to defend herself with a parry. Now, Lady Strawn is a weapon master, so she gets to re-roll this. Oh, wow. Aguirre is not, so he doesn't get to re-roll his 2. And so Lady Strawn is going to win this fight, so she's not going to take any damage. So it goes back to her. This time, looking at her options, she is going to do a normal attack. Aguirre is going to use the last of his counters here. He does technically get 1 more because he's got a buddy next to him. So let's keep this one out for the buddy to use later. The Spanish militiaman standing next to him, because they're part of the same fight. So Lady Strawn is just doing a normal attack versus a parry here. And so Lady Strawn does not overcome the parry. It goes back to her because the Spaniards have no more attack dice. And Lady Strawn is going to attack 1 more time. The defensive token is owned by the militiaman here. So Aguirre is all out of defensive dice. So it's going to be 1 versus 2 dice here. Lady Strawn's going to get 2. And she gets to reroll a 1 for Weapon Master. There we go. All right, so that's going to be 8 plus 5. Aguirre does have medium armor, so he's going to subtract 2. So he is just going to take a light wound from this. And so he takes a light wound. This militiaman cannot attack because he didn't have a red counter. And then it's going to go over to the second fight here. And so this is going to be Contessa, who has 3. So she's going to grab a defensive and 2 offensive versus our militiaman, who's just going to have 1 here. So let's see what he gets. He is going to be defending. Okay, so it's going to go over to Contessa just by default. She's just going to do a normal attack here, and the militiaman will defend. And so it's going to be 2v2. So that is going to be a grievous wound. On the militiaman. The militiaman has doesn't have another chance to strike, and so Contessa is going to strike again. The militiaman's only going to get 1 dice here. And so that's going to be a 10 versus a 6. That's going to be another light wound, and so this militiaman is gone. We have 1 battle to go for this round. It's going to be Yasmin versus the militiaman over here. The Spaniard is going to get an attack versus Yasmin's 2 attacks and a parry here. And the militiaman's going to go first. So the militiaman is going to get 2 dice versus Yasmin's 2 dice. It does not hit. Yasmin is going to use her pistol. So she's going to fire with her pistol here into combat. And so this has +1 to the wound score. And so she is going to make this a mighty blow with her pistol, with her bullet. A mighty blow with bullet. And so she's going to be able to roll 3d6 versus 1d6 from the militiaman. And she is a sharpshooter. So she gets to re-roll 1 of those because she's using a pistol. Yeah, that guy's gone. So this guy is gone. Yasmin gets another reload marker for her second pistol. Initiative for turn 4. Okay, the Spanish are going to get the jump on him. The boat moves 6 at the beginning of each turn. And they will now be able to board the ship. First, their soldier here is going to move up, climb up here, and get into combat with this sailor. They've also got a militiaman here who's going to climb in the boat and also get into combat with the sailor. Now it goes over to the Spice Girls. This militiaman's going to turn around and fire into the musketeer over here. No penalties to this. And it's just a 5, so it's not going to hit. Contessa is going to take the opportunity to start moving towards the ship. While Lady Strawn has these 2 distracted. Back to the Spanish. It's going to be a musket battle again. And so here is the Spanish musketeer into this sailor armed with the musket. He misses. We just have Yasmin right here, who hasn't gone. She is going to make a break in this direction, hop over this wall, and go 8 inches, so she'll just be able to get to the bridge. Okay, so we're starting the combat phase for turn 4 here. The Spaniards have the initiative, and so Aguirre is going to attack Lady Strawn. So Lady Strawn here is going to go with 2 attack and 2 defensive tokens. And then let's see what Aguirre and the militiamen get here. They'll get 5 tokens. So defensive, defensive, offensive, and 2 more offensive. Initiative roll. Lady Strawn definitely gets the initiative here. She is going to make an attack and start with a feint again, like last turn. Aguirre is going to defend with a parry. So it's going to be 2 versus 2 here. Because she successfully feinted, Lady Strawn is going to get a red attack token back. Now it goes over to Aguirre. He's going to do an attack and a mighty blow here. And Lady Strawn is going to do a parry. Lady Strawn is a weapon master, and she better be here. She better get something good. Oh, that's not good. So she is going to take a light wound. Lady Strawn has been lightly wounded in the combat, but now it returns back to her. They are both lightly wounded here. Lady Strawn is going to make a normal attack, and Aguirre is going to use his last token. This one will be saved for the militiaman. He's going to use his last token in order to defend here. So Lady Strawn is going to get 2, and Aguirre is going to get 2. Lady Strawn gets to re-roll this as a weapon master. There we go. So that is going to be 8 plus 5, 13. Yeah. I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of Aguirre, but for this battle, he has been removed. There is still another militiaman in combat with her, so we need to resolve that. The militiaman is able to attack her, and so he will get 2 dice. She's going to parry. Actually, she's going to do a riposte, and so she is going to try and swing this in her favor, if she can. So they've tied on the dice, but Lady Strawn gets a +5. So she's successfully riposted, if that's a word. So he's going to take a light wound. And that's the end of that combat right there. The other combat we have to do is going to be down here in the ship. And so this is a militiaman, a soldier of Spain, versus a lone sailor here who's not a very good fighter. The soldier is going to attack, and he's also going to do a mighty blow versus a sailor who's going to try and parry. Well, that was pretty good roll for the Spanish there. They have to drop the lowest. 13 versus 7 here, so that's going to be 5. So this guy has been killed by the Spanish. Okay, the Spanish have basically taken control of the ship here, other than this lone musketman who's trying to fend them off, while the Spice Girls are still trying to get back to their ship and make sure that they can get off the island here. Let's see who gets initiative for turn 5. That will be the Spice Girls. We'll move Contessa first over here. And so she's going to move over here 6 inches and then do a run for an additional 3 inches to get on the dock, heading towards the boat. The Spanish are going to, no surprise, move up this soldier to try and clear out the last sailor here. Yasmin is going to cross the bridge and move close to the boat herself. Because she's going to try and make this jump here. Back to the Spanish. The last militiaman moves up and gets into combat. and joins this bloody combat up here. And this Spanish here will go ahead and reload his musket. Now we're going to finish the combat over here between Lady Strawn and this militiaman. It goes back to Lady Strawn. She can attack one more time. She can reroll this one. And that's going to do it for this militiaman. So that's the end of turn 5. The Spice Girls need to get back to this ship in a hurry to try and clear it of Spaniards and leave the island. Here's initiative for turn 6. Spice Girls have it. Contessa is actually within 18-inch pistol range of this musketeer back here in the boat. And so she is going to go for him with her pistol. She's going to be adding a 2 to this. She's going to be -2 because she's firing a pistol at this range. And I'm going to say that this guy has light cover. So she's going to be really -1 to whatever she gets here. That is a 9, though. So it's going to be an 8. So he is going to take a light wound. This guy's going to hop over the wall and take a shot back at Contessa here. He's just going to be at a -2 to this. So he's going to need an 8 or better. And he does not get an 8 or better. Spice Girls continue their movement. Yasmin is going to move up 9. Try and make that jump next turn. And Lady Strawn is going to move 9 over here. Okay, back to this fight over here. The sailor is holding on, but can he hold on one more turn? It's going to be the soldier. He's going to use a mighty blow here versus a parry. They drop this. It's an 8 versus an 8, but our sailor is grievously wounded, which is going to be another light wound, which is going to kill this sailor with musket. Initiative, turn whatever we're at. Okay, the Spanish are going to get to go first here. And the soldier is going to move up to behind these boxes here to get ready to meet the oncoming Spice Girls. Contessa is going to move up. She can't get into combat this turn because you can't run and get into combat. She's going to move up like that. This militiaman is going to come back up. This soldier, Lady Strawn, is going to move up her 9 to back up Contessa. And both of these characters are going to reload one firearm. The musketeer is going to make a short move here of 3 inches to get line of sight over onto Yasmin over there. And he's going to fire with a -1 penalty. And with Snake Eyes, that will miss widely. It's going to go over to the Spice Girls, and we're going to make our dexterity check and leap to see if Yasmin can get on the ship here. So let me read how this works. Yasmin is going to roll her initiative plus 2d6 to see if she can make this jump. She's only got an initiative of 1 and she needs an 8 here, so this better be a hot roll. So she is going to make a running jump onto the ship with 1 loaded pistol ready for next turn. This soldier is going to move up and get into combat with La Contessa. Lady Strawn is going to join this combat. And finally, this militiaman is going to join the combat as well. And so we'll split this combat up, like the book suggests, into 2 different fights here. Lady Strawn is going to play aggressively. And the soldier gets a defense and an attack. Let's roll for initiative. The soldier is going to get the initiative in this case. And so he is going to make an attack on the Lady Strawn, and she is going to not parry. She's going to she will parry. Ooh. Now Lady Strawn is a weapon master. She can roll one of these. I don't know how much that's going to help. So the soldier has a fight of 2. So he's at 12 right now. Lady Strawn is at 10, and she's lightly wounded, so she's at 9. And so she takes, she is going to get a grievous wound. Lady Strawn is grievously wounded, so she'll be at a -2 to fights from now on. But she does get a chance to attack back here. So she is not only going to attack, she is going to do a heavy blow versus a parry. Lady Strawn is a weapon master. She can re-roll one of these. Didn't help her though. Based on all their modifiers, this soldier has been lightly wounded. And Lady Strawn gets one more attack against him. And so he's only going to be able to roll a single die. That was a really good roll. And that's going to remove him from the game. Ooh. For the next fight, we're going to go to the fight between Contessa and this militiaman. A 9 versus a 7 lightly wounds this militiaman. And that's the end of this turn. So immediately, Yasmin is going to turn and fire at this musketeer. And she's also a sharpshooter, so she can re-roll. She doesn't need to, though, and that will definitely kill this musketeer. Lady Strawn's going to move into this combat. And that will kill the final Spaniard, leading to a victory by the Spice Girls.